recording. All right, in the case of update, when you go to the individual item, right, individual, let's call it issue, right? So you see that ID, this is the ID, so localhost issue and the ID, right? That is what coming from our route. You always try to understand the route, okay? What are our routes, right? So in the issue, and this is the ID, right? And in this page we have that basically details page, issue details page, okay? So let's start from here, right? Let's start from here. In this page I want to add the button here, like edit button. Any button will go, right? Edit, maybe delete button later on. So we're gonna add here, okay, in this section. So let's look at the code and see how it has organized. One more thing, let's go to our, the, what is this, right? Okay, app, go to the tracker. I want to look at our roadmap, basically for the update 5 update issue. That's 60 minutes. So let's see if we can finish in 60 minutes or not, right? In this section we just focus on adding edit button, okay? Add the edit button, right? So let's do that. So before we add update button, right, this is our like UI, what you see in the page, like in the individual page, right? Title, then there is a date and the what is here, badge, right? Badge, date, and then the card, right? The box where you can see all the details of the issue. So in this section, how we gonna think of the making the box, right? Two box, left and right box, okay? So what I will do, I'm gonna change this to grid, right, from the our Redux UI grid. Let's make that Redux UI theme. So I will import that and I will change grid. Why I did grid? Maybe flex and grid, right? Because now I can make 2 column easily, right? So this whole thing will go in one box, 1 column left side. So we're going to use the again Redux UI box component. It is kind of a same like a div, right? But it has special, the props you can pass, like you can make this box as a paragraph or maybe other element, right? You can do all that things with the box, okay? So you have to read in the Redux UI. Slowly you guys will know, right? And this things is very helpful. But anyway, this is just a div. This is the Redux UI grid, grid here, and the box. I need one more box for the button, okay? Box, right, like that. And here I'm gonna put the button now, button, right? It will come also from the Redux UI, and in the button we can call it update issue, right? Issue, like that. So let's see how it looks right now. So if you go here, see that update issue button here on the here, right? But I want this to be on the left side, on the right side. So that means I need to change my grid into column, right? So here columns, right? So in grid, basically you can make it like this, like let's say you can give the 2 columns. So just put 2 here, right? And see what happens. So see, this grid becomes 2 column grid, okay? But is that okay for mobile? If I go for the mobile device, right? See, it's not good, okay? I want this in the mobile, I want this below here, right, on the bottom. So if you look at the Redux UI, let's see, for the responsiveness, right, what are the different screen size? So you have to go and check in the layout, I believe, layout or layout somewhere, okay? Grid column 3 gap 3. I mean, you can see all this, right? Box height, whatever height you can give, a breakpoint, okay? Breakpoint. So that is for the phone, right? This is the just name, okay? And it has some size for phone. Small landscape phone start from 520 pixel below, right? Small device 768 below, and medium 1024, and LG 1280, and extra large 1640, right? So we will, for mobile we just use this one, okay? And we're gonna use for tablet, maybe we're gonna use MD, right? Above MD we're gonna do this. So how you gonna apply that here, right? How? So you have to put, now you have to pass, when you have to pass many props, you put in the object, okay? So initials is the first one, that is for the mobile device. So in mobile I just want one column, okay? And for when it go above MD, right, I want two column. And see, and I just want to add some gap also, so let's put a gap of how much, maybe 3. So let's give a gap of 3 or 4, maybe 4. That should be fine, right? So something not correct. What happened? Let me remove this, right? That is okay. So that's the column. I can put a gap, you know, and it will be 4. Yeah, so I don't know why it was oh, single, I think, I don't know, single quote was the problem. It should be okay, you know. Let's see. Oh, I think I put colon here, right? I know, I believe I put here colon, and that is, colon is only for object, not for the attribute, okay? This is same like HTML attribute, right? Or you can call it props. Okay, fine. So now if you look at our result and see here, so this is for mobile, and when you go above MD, you're gonna get something like that, correct? Okay, so one more thing we're gonna do, right? We're gonna add the some kind of edit icon here, okay? So let's do that. So where are we gonna get that icon? If I go to the icon here, you have to install this, right? So let's use this Redux UI icon. What I will do, I'm just gonna install here to make it quick. And then the icon will be, I don't remember what icon, I think they call edit, maybe, I don't know, pencil, yeah, something like that, right? So I don't want to copy the whole thing, you know. How are you going to use that? So you import something like that, right? So on the top here, and we call it, so let's type the name, okay? PENC pencil 2 icon, right? That is what we need. So now I'm gonna add icon here, icon, right? So let's break it down and then let's try to fix this. So will be pencil 2 icon, and yeah, so now you're gonna see some change here. Okay, you see the pencil there, good to go, right? Pencil. Okay, the next thing is we want to click now, click, right? And so now you have button. When you click the button, you should go to the update page, because right now we are just uh, issue detail page, right? So from here you want to go to update page. So for that, let's add the link. So this will be just the link, next, not the Redux Next.js link, right? Because you know this link is what, the client side routing, right? Same like our navbar. So we just gonna use, we just need to go somewhere, that's it. And what we can do here, right? We have to pass some data. So I can say slash issue space. So in the issue, right, in the issue, maybe we can create edit, okay? So let's do that, edit, and there we're gonna add the ID, right? So ID should be issue.id, because we have the issue already here, right? And this issue has id also, correct? So we're gonna pass that id here. Done. So let's check this if this will work, right? Because I know we don't have edit page. Okay, we don't have right now inside the issue, we don't have this route edit yet. So let's click and see what happened. Okay, so something not correct. Like, let's go refresh. I go to this back here, I click this. Okay, finally, right? So it is the route here. Look at edit and the id, right? But it will be same, like you have issue with new, right? Not new, but issue with the id details page. So similarly, we're gonna have issue with edit. Now edit route, this is the edit route. We just need a page here, page TypeScript, okay? And we call it what you can call, right? Issue edit page, issue edit page, right? Something like that. Okay, so that is all for this, right? I believe, yeah, so that is all we have to do it. Okay, so we're done. So let's comment this out, and then we're going to move to the next part. So here we're going to go and add the commit, adding the edit button, right? Commit, we did little more, but it's okay. Done. So what is the next now? Applying the single responsibility principle, right? So if we have to understand this, right? Applying the single responsibility principle, also called SRP, right? SRP, or yeah, I think SRP, you can call it SRP. Sometimes if you see SRP, single responsibility principle, so that means let's say you have a function, right? The function for maybe just doing addition, or maybe multiplication or division or something like that, or maybe calculator function which handles the all calculation, right? So the any page or function or component or maybe hooks, anything you create, almost all are function, right? What happen is each should have the single responsibility. If you put everything same place, then it becomes so difficult to maintain our code, to update things, to upgrade that in the future. If someone, let's say you wrote a code, right, and somebody, your friend, come and work on that one, it will be very mess for him to understand, and it will going to take a lot of time to just understand things, right? So this is the principle we should understand, and we'll try to look at that, right? I mean, even our code is very small, okay? If you look at this code, right? Okay, let's think about this one, okay? So this page is the issue page, right? Issue page, issue details page, okay? This page is just displaying the two column, right? Basically two column. So in the first column we have the details of that box page. The second column is the button, right? So let's say if you need to update, for now this is very small, okay? I mean, you don't have to separate, right? But for the future, okay, this is a learning process, so we must understand, right, what in the small in the small program we must understand the concept so that you can apply in the future of your large project, right? So we have to separate this now. Also let's think of this. So what we're going to do, right, we're going to just keep this details page as a two column layout box only. The content we're going to move out, okay? So what we're going to call that, let me see. We're going to just give the name, maybe some kind of button or something, right? I wrote the name here. So this is the edit button. Okay, edit button. Yeah, so let's go back here, and in the ID because this button, I believe edit button is not going to use in other place. This is only for this detail page, right? So we'll just keep it inside. Oh, okay, I did a mistake, guys. Here also, right? This edit has a ID, remember? So your page will be routing to the ID here, something like this. Okay, and that is the edit slash ID, right? And this will go inside here. That's okay. Edit, okay, but in thing here is we're talking about this page, right? The details, issue details page. Okay, so that is here. This is what we open. So inside here itself, I'm going to create one button, right? And we call it edit issue button. Okay, tsx, right? Tsx, and export that, and we're going to bring our code for the button. So we're going to leave the box, we don't need it, that is a separator. We just need this button and put it here, right? So we need to get let's say we need to import all the missing imports, right? So all missing imports, and it will import that. So see, now ID we don't have, right? This ID we don't have. Okay, so we have to get it as a props, correct? So here I'll just, because it will be one line, just ID, right? So I'll just write it props, right? And that will be I believe props colon ID, that will be string, right? The ID is string. Yeah, that is enough. So this props is basically ID, that is string. So we have to get now props.id, no more issue, but we call it props.id, right? Props.id, that is done. Okay, so now we're going to take this, right, and use in our code here. So import that, import edit issue button, and here inside the box you put edit issue button, like that. Component. Okay, now what is the complaint here? Props, right? We have to pass props. So that props was I think we should have given name, right? Issue ID, like that, equal to so we will change later. Okay, issue dot id, and now we're going to use this one here, right? Because earlier we did not give the name. So now we're going to call this, the props is basically issue ID, issue ID, and here will be issue ID, because we are just passing the ID straight, right? So we don't have to do now this ID equal to string. We just put it like that. So something is not correct. Props, right? Props is an object, and that will be having issue. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, my mistake. Props, leave it props, right? And then see, always what we get, right? We get props from the, when you pass props, that will be props, right? That is the object, and that object has this issue ID. Okay, issue ID, right? So we must destructure that props, and then that props, let's say props, right? Can we do this? Props will be colon, right? And pass this inside there. I mean, let me delete. So yeah, I think that is fine. So this is the props. We destructure that. That props is an object and it has that issue ID, right? Issue ID is a string, so we destructure like that. So now here we're gonna call it props dot issue ID. Okay, so that is done, right? So that part is done. The next one is we're gonna call it let's say I mean, this will also work. One thing I just don't understand, right? If we just, because this props is an object, it has an issue ID, right? Object, sorry, the property. So we can destructure here directly issue ID, and then we should have limit issue ID equal to string like that also, you know. I mean, anyway, it will work, right? This is also okay, but even if you put issue ID here and then remove this one, right? That should also work. So it's okay. So now we need one more file. Okay, so that will be for this section. Why is complaining? So that is okay. Something is not correct here. Okay, let me do one thing, right? ISSUESU ID and take this out. No need this. And now, right, we have issue ID straight here, so even you don't need to put this. And let's check now the page. Yeah, so that is fine. Okay, let's create one more, right? One more for the details here, this heading part. Okay, this whole thing, right? So what we're gonna call that? I think we're gonna call issue details, maybe. Yeah, let's call that. So I just remove from here and bring it to the issue details page. Okay, and we're gonna add it so that has a heading, right? We must put in one of the box, right, like that, or maybe just the we're gonna use the fragment, right? So we have to import all these. Okay, so control dot and add all missing imports, and it can import here on the top. So thing is missing now issue, right? We don't have, remember, here we are fetching the data, okay, from Prisma, right? So there is two things we can do. Either we can fetch this data straight in our details page here, or we can pass this issue as a props. We can do that. So let's pass it as a props for now, right? I mean, even if we fetch, I don't think we're going to use this again anyway, right? So we can fetch it in the here, but in the future, let's say this data you need in different components, then it's better to have it in the parent, right? This is a parent and this will be the child. Details will be the child, so leave it in the parent and you can pass it as a props. So to pass it as a props, first we have to get that here, import, and we call it issue details page, and we're gonna call it here issue details page, right? And we're gonna pass it as a props. So here we're gonna call it issue, let's call it issue, right? Issue equal to just this issue, no, same name, issue. Fine. Now this is missing, right? This issue is missing. So the one thing here now, let's say in this one, right, if we just call the issue now props, basically props, that will be again props is object and destructure it to issue property, right? Issue, that is what we have. The issue is, remember, this is the all the ID, title, description, date, and all that things, right? That is what it is here inside. So to validate this, we have the Prisma, remember the Prisma client. So we can call that one. Okay, we no need to write all details, so we just call issue here, and from there we're gonna call Prisma, the Prisma issue, yeah, from Prisma client. And look at here now, right? You're gonna get all that ID, title, description, status, created at, updated at, all this information you have available to this issue. Nice. And that is all displaying title, status, you know, everything is coming here. So done. So our page should work as it is, right? There should not be any error. I mean, it should work. Let's check. So that is edit page. Let's go to the SE page, and we just work on the details, right? Click on this one, and we got it, right? Everything looks perfectly fine. If you go mobile, it will be like this. If you go above mobile MD device, it will be like here, right? 2-column layout. Now if you click this button, you will be sent to the issue edit page, right, which we just created here. So see, now look at this code, right? The point here is, for this topic, how you're going to separate your code, right? So this is just, see, this component is just displaying the details. This component is only taking care of the button, but this page itself is just worry about making 2-column, right? Grid with 2 box, left and right, or maybe mobile, right? Done. See, now if you have to do some work with the issue, you just go to the issue details page and, you know, handle there, right? You can just, you know, handle here, just make some changes, whatever you can do it here. You don't need to worry about button, you don't need to worry about anything else. Okay, so separation of concern, or maybe what was the name we call it, single principle, in applying single responsibility principle, right? It means you just separate, if one function has one responsibility, you keep it separate, right? So that will make your code clean and easy to maintain. Okay, so let's, you know, apply, yeah, just call it SRP, right? Apply SRP. So we're gonna commit now, apply SRP. Okay, single responsibility principle, right? Commit and push it. Okay, so next is building the edit issue page now, right? So we have done that already. In the edit, we're gonna have the ID, and there we add the page, right, with ID in issue form, and pass the props also. So here we will build the edit issue page. We need to reuse the form, right? Oh, okay, form. So let's add component folder in the issue, so we can add the component which we think only needed in the issue. Okay, so now let's talk about the issue page here. So when you click on that edit, right, when you click on the edit here, when you click on the edit, you reach here. Okay, so now what we want to see, right, the form, right, HTML form with title and description and their information inside the form. That is what we need, right? And the button maybe for update, or maybe, yeah. So basically it's talk about the form here, you know, this page need a form, right? And then there will be button for update. So yeah, that is what it's saying, right? Okay, so yeah, so this is the code. Next will be API building, right? So we have to refactor our form now. Let's think of that. So this form, right, issue form is not going to be used in everywhere. Okay, you're not going to use everywhere, right? So why not we do something like this, right? Let's go back to the issue here, and in the issue, right, we're gonna create let's see, we need to reuse the form, right? So let's add components folder in issue. Yeah, okay, components folder. So let's add one component here, because I'm thinking to separate the form, right, in a component, so you can use in the, you know, like when you adding the new issue there, and also in the update, right, both places you can use that component. So components. Okay, when you have component like this, right, remember this is, if you put a page here, then if you go to the component, the page will run, correct? That will become route. But if you don't want this component to be route, right, then there is a magic line you can add here, like underscore, and that's it. So now this page is not for routing. Okay, next just will exclude this, right, from routing. So here we're gonna create the issue form, right? Let's create the, you know, component called issue form, correct? And like that. So we're gonna get the form details, right? So where is our form now? So let me close all this, that's too many pages. Okay, so that's the issue form. So where is the form now? New page, right? New here, because when you go to the new page, you're gonna see the form. So okay, I hope I'm okay, right? I think no, I'm in the wrong page, you know. The new, if I click this new, expand the new, right, then I will get to the page here. That is my form, you know. So what we can do here, right, I believe let's take everything, right, and then, you know, let's take everything, control A, control X, just copy everything from here, right, and put it in the new here, just put it here. Okay, now what happened, right? Issue form is there. Okay, we want to make this issue form, right? Not the new issue form, but it should be used for all the form, okay, everywhere, right? So just make it issue form. One thing I will change, and maybe we can make this, because this will give us the data or some schema, right? So we can make it issue form, let's call it data. Okay, simple enough. So now everywhere is issue form, we call it data. Done. And yeah, that is all, right? That is all we have to do. And here export issue form, right? Good enough. Okay, that is all. So remember, this is just a component now, right? You are exporting this issue form component, but this is our page for the, you know. So now import issue form. So first we have to make it component here, right? Let's make this component, and this will be issue form page, right? Page, or maybe new issue form, I believe, new issue form. That was the before, right? Let me check. Okay, what is the name before? That is edit. Here, what is the component name? That is API, right? I don't need that right now. So that is edit page. Okay, that is edit page, edit issue page, right? I'm not worried about that one. So new issue page, let's call it new issue page. Yeah, and I will export that also. Fine. So now we're gonna import. We don't need this, right? Let's import issue form, right? Issue form from here, and very easy, you just render this issue form, right? Good enough. And let's see if this work or not, right? Check out. So if you go to the if you go to the issue, new issue page, new issue, and add new issue, right? If you click here, and it's working, guys, everything looks okay. And if I click this one, so it will take time, but it's working, right? And also update will be work. We reached the update now, right? So here also, now issue edit page, I'm gonna need that form, right? Same form. So how I gonna do that? Let's go to the update now. Let's see what it's saying, right? Let me read through. Okay, if I before I do any mistake. Reuse the form. So let's add components folder issue, so we can add the component. We think only needed in issue. Fine, we have a component, we got the form separated. Fetch the issue with ID in the issue form, right? And pass as a props. Fetch the issue with ID in issue form and pass as a props. Okay, fine. So that is edit issue page, right? That is edit issue page. Okay, so we have to build this now, right? Here, building the edit issue page. Okay, we just separate the form, but we're gonna build this now, right? So yeah, let's do that. In the edit, go to this page right here, and first we need to import issue form, and we're gonna pass it here, right? So let's say edit, return that, right? So just return it simple, no need div and all that. Issue form. So this will work, right? Even if you go to now, if you go to the, let's go and check right here. Let's check. I will go to one of the bug and click on the update, right? And see, you get this page already. Now you're getting that form, right? The update form. Now what we need to do, we have to grab this props, the parameter here, params. Now this is a params, right? The object params, we have to grab that ID. Then in this page, we're gonna fetch the data with this ID and then display here, right? Basically, you're gonna pass that as a props later in the form, and then in the form itself, we're gonna display here. We have to pass it as a props here, and when you go to the form, and we're gonna display to our input, right? So the input will be here, text field and the control, right? That's what we're gonna do. Okay, guys. So let's hope that will be, yeah, okay. So let's quickly do this. So what I will do now, right? Remember these things, will be params, correct? Let me check the code quickly now. Params, right? Params, because you grabbing the ID from the navigation, right? So that is what the destructuring will be for the our TypeScript. Okay, so let's write it, because I think I'm looking at the time. Okay, I think will be okay. So that is params, and here will be params colon, and that will be ID, and ID will be our string, right? String. So we got the params now, right? I think we don't need this import React. Okay, we got the params, and you can pass it as a props, but not the params. We have to pass the issue, right? So async function, and we're going to fetch now data const issue, right, equal to Prisma. How you fetch data now? Prisma client, and that is the issue in a model, and find by unique, right? And you're gonna call it where clause, and then you pass that params.id, right? Where ID, okay, you have to give it ID colon params.id. Good. And this will be await, right? Await, because this is network call, so you have to make sure you wait until you get the data. So we got the issue now, so you can pass that issue here, but let's do some validation, right? The thing is, if you have no issue, you can call this one. Yeah, basically, if no issue, call that one, and then pass the data. I think that is all, right? Okay, very easy. So let's say if there is no issue, you can call not found, so you have to import that, import not found from next navigation. Yeah, and here issue equal to, we pass that issue now as the props. Okay, so this thing is done, right? In the form now you have to grab it. Let's go back in the form. So here, right, issue form, you have to grab that. So issue, so this is the whole object. Okay, so will be issue colon, and you get it from the Prisma client, right? Because Prisma also give you the validation, remember, for the TypeScript checking, right? So you get it from Prisma, and you got all that ID, title, description, everything is done, good to go. So we have the issue now, right? It's time to display that. So yeah, so I think let's do it here itself, right? So let's display that. So now let's check now, right? I think here, so this is the input field, text input, text rotate, control. Yeah, so we can add I think default value issue dot title, right? And also we can add for the controller, so here we're going to put it default value issue dot description, right? Okay, and I think one thing we can do, right, what we can do is this one, the button. See, right now the button is something like this. If you refresh this page, right, let's see if we get it. Yeah, so we got now, right? Look at here. So for this ID you get that box 6 and the details here, but now you want to render this button conditionally. Okay, right now submit new issue, right? But is our issue update issue. Okay, we want to update issue, so let's do that. So I mean, how are you gonna do now, right? Basically we write now the condition here. So if there is issue, right, props, then you display update issue. Okay, else you add this one. So that will be string now. All right, and see what happens. So see, we have update issue now. All right, so when you click this one, this should update with changes, right? So again, now it's almost same like not same, but posting new data, right? So that is creating API and all that, but that will be second next part now. So let's finish this here. So we're gonna, what was the topic here? Building the edit issue page. We done that. So I will go to my Visual Studio and commit, push it here. Okay, done. So let's move to the next part. Now building API. So let's do quick, right? API. So in the API, what we need, right? In the API issue page, issue/id, right? Issue/id. I mean, so we have edit/id, right? We can add edit and then id will be better. Okay, let's do. I mean, even if there is no more id, right? Because this is just a route, as long as you put the right route is okay. So su, see how our code organized here, right? In the issue section you have su, then edit, right? And inside you have id. So either you can follow the same pattern here also. So you can have a edit. Let's do it same, right? Edit and oh no, rename it, just edit first. Okay, so you have edit, right, in the SU, and here you're gonna have id, right, like that. Okay, and inside this you're gonna have the route dot ts, not ts, right, only ts. Okay, yeah. So now creating route will be same like this, guys, almost same right here. Okay, almost same. So this time we're just getting the single item, right, not all. I mean, that was the post, correct? This was the post. Yeah, post. So this will be patch, update will be put or patch, right? So basically put, like if you're replacing the whole object, right, if you're replacing everything, then you can use put. But if you're just changing certain things, certain property only inside the object, then that will be better patch, right? So let's use patch. So yeah, so what I will do for schema, right, we're not going to waste too much time. I will just copy this and explain it. Okay, so now look at here, right? So this things is has no exported module, right? Issue schema from app validation schema, right? Let's see the name here. So this is create issue schema, or you can see what we're getting, right? Create issue schema. Okay, So we can leave it create issue schema, same name right here. A route issue, same thing like this, right? I mean the name can be changed, you can change the validation schema, you call it validation schema, right? This name, that is the validation schema, yeah. But the thing is inside create issue schema, that is what we are exporting, right? So let's use that. Okay, but now you have to change here also, it does not matter, right? C yeah. So okay, now we know the validation. Okay, you have this file, right? Create issue schema, that is important. In the validation schema you are exporting this, correct? You're getting the job and it's validating the title and description, that is all it is doing, right? So here you need, because remember later, right, what you're going to do is you will be sending this data, title and description, to the body, right? And that body must be validated. Okay, that is what we're doing. So you import the Prisma client, because you're gonna send, later you're gonna use this to send the data, right? Even getting the data and all kind of things you can do it with Prisma client. So that is one, and then you have the next server, right? Next request and response. Okay, now you just write the function patch, not that was post, but this is patch, and there will be request, right? That is, we all know. The second parameter, right, will be params. Why this params? Because I want to grab the ID, right? This one, this ID. We need to get this ID, right? So that is params. You gotta pass it as a params, okay, later, right? And then ID string. That is just the ID with a string. So this ID is the name coming from our this ID field. Remember that. Done. So now how you gonna get the data from the body? This will be async function. What is the async? There is async here, right? And you have to make it await request JSON, right? We know that. You just need to validate so you validate the data from the body. You can do that easily. If no validation success, then return this response. That is okay, we understand that. And now, because you have now, right, let's say we success up to here, everything is okay, we reach here, right? Now we're gonna check, we're gonna try to find that item, right, with this ID. We have the ID already, right, here, params.id. So we find that ID, that issue from the database. If no issue, then return that invalid issue. If there is issue, then you can update now, right? So you have the whole issue here, you can update that issue. So prisma.issue.update function, and then you in the bracket, where first you have to provide which, you have to pass the ID to update and the data, right? The second parameter will be data, that is title and the description. Clear? And done. After you're gonna get back here updated issue and just return it to the user for now, but this will update the issue in the system, in the database. So that is all the route now, right? So that was the route part. Let me know if any question on this route part, okay, for the patch, right? But if you have done the post one and before, I think this will be easy to understand. Just look at this await, right? Prisma find unique, then Prisma update issue, you know how to get the data from the body right here, then validate that with our validate, this validation here. You're getting the data and validating here, right? That is all. Okay guys, so that will be done for the API, right? So let's update that. So we call it building an API for update. API for update, commit and push. So what is the next one now? Next one is, now it's time to update the issue, right? So we build the API. Now it's time to update our form. In form, check if there is an issue, then update the data, right? We call the Axios paths, else you put the data here. So see, we have two things, the post and paths in the same form, right? So if there is a data, we're gonna, and you're gonna add the respective API, right? So let's do that one. Let's see the update. What is the update issue right here? So it should be, let's look at now. Okay, I will close this one, and we have to go back to our form now. So let's delete that here, form, right? So it's time to update. So let's look at the form. Here, right? Look at, so see, this form is used for post new data also, remember that. So we have this one, look at this part, right? Post, but we're gonna do some checking, right? Let's check that. Remember, we have this validation here, issue. If there is issue, if this is truth here, right, then we're gonna run first our here we'll check if there is issue. If there is issue, then we just maybe make it await, call await, right? This is async function. There is no async, right? So let's make it async. Okay. Why is error? Because maybe of this, right? Here, yeah, this, okay, we don't have to do this, let's I don't know why. Let's see, this is a form, right? And we are using form other places. Try catch is there also. So why we cannot make it await? Let's look at where is the issue, right? That's the async. Why this giving error? Prevent client component from being async function. See, client component, right? Yeah, why? Okay, fine, leave it. So how we have used here, right? Okay, just await Axios like that. Okay, let's try now. If there is an issue, then we make it await again, and then we call the Axios dot patch. Okay, and then we call our API now, right? So API will be API slash issues slash, what is that, edit, right? Edit, and then we're gonna pass the ID, right? So how are we gonna do that? slash slash slash, either we can put it the backtick and pass here, or plus maybe we call it from this issue.id, right? So let's do that, plus issue.id, okay, concatenating, right? And the next thing we have to pass the data, right? So then you pass the data. Clear? So where this data coming from? If you look at our form here, right, this form is already handling all the data, remember that? So form, use form, route, error, call out, and all that, form, right? So here look at this data, okay. Oh sorry, yeah, here inside the form we already have, because this is the form, right, where we are handling. Oh my god, okay, here is already async. Why I was putting on the top? Okay, this form already have the handle submit function, which is handling that async request. Okay, so yeah, that is all we have to do, right? Because we have else, sorry, if, we must make it else here, else, and then if there is no issue, then this await will run, post part will run. But if there is issue, if issue, right, here is issue true, then this will run. So when you are updating, there will be, of course there will be issue passed as a props, and that will be updated automatically. If there is no issue, then this will be run automatically when you are doing the post, new post, you know. So yeah, so that is all we have, right, to this part. So let's commit. We're gonna test now. Let's test, right? Let's test this. We should have tested that online also, you know, in the Postman, but for now let's leave it. Make it 3, update here, and you can update here also, and you can update this, right? Okay, and update the issue. Okay, we send it here. Look at this update now. Highlight already. So you have this update here, and you added this one, and here also, right? So things are working fine. So let's commit now. Time to commit. So edit issue page and commit. Oh, we crossed 1 hour already, right? I know today, because of the power cut, I should have, you know, done this early hour. Then you guys have get some time to, you know, practice this also. Now you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday to work on, right? But Sunday we're gonna work on our portfolio. Okay, remember that. So if you cannot make it, there will be recorded, right? So you can just use recording. Now this is something. Let's look at understanding the caching, right? Caching. What is caching now? You know, in the next JS, what happened, right? The data will be stored in the memory, okay, in the server and in the client computer. If I open let's say I open this page, right? That means my browser will store, if this is a Next.js project, right? Next.js application, or any new modern application, you know, my browser will automatically store information in the somewhere in the file, right, in my system, in the browser, right? So next time when you open the same page, it will just fetch from the browser, okay, unless there is a way to validate, revalidation, right? Or maybe the if I close this, then the all the cache memory is gone from the browser. Remember that is one thing. But the server now, right, server, wherever you have server, there is also caching, and there is 2 different kind of caching in server, right? So in Next.js there is 3 cache layer, 1 in the browser and 2 in the system, okay. So first one is data cache, right? When we fetch data from the external source using fetch API. Remember, let's say in your project you are using fetch API to fetch the data. In that case, it will store the cache. It will create a cache file, right, in the server, stored there. Okay, so next time when you are fetching again, you're not getting the new data, you're just getting that cache file, right? So how, because for example here, right, here, because one thing I have added already, right, that's why it's refreshing the page. If you look at this issue form, right, this refresh, router refresh, right, if I remove this one, what gonna happen is, even if you create a new page, right, you're not gonna get the new data same time. Okay, you have to refresh the page, but this is doing that job right now. Okay, it is doing the job, right? But there is other things also in the server you can add, right, to refetch the data or revalidate things like that. You can do it. So how you can do? If you are using fetch function, then you can put this one cache. We talked about this before also, no cache, right? So that every time you try to get new data, it will automatically get you new data. You have to put cache, no cache. Or you can add validate after certain second, right? Maybe next, revalidate after this one. So remember that there is a way to, you can modify your fetch, right, the to handle the cache memory. Either you don't want cache, you can put that one, or you must make sure every certain second you are getting the new data by adding revalidation here. That is okay, that is one thing. The next one is full route cache, right? This is also cache on the server. So somewhere on the bottom of your file, right, you can put this one, this line of code. Okay, or this one, right? So if you put this here, let's say for example, wherever you can put, right, the file you are fetching data. So let's, for example, in this form, you want to fetch, right, the new data, like you want to refresh the page, so the new data will be fetched, correct? So, or let's, where we are fetching data, let's go there, right? So issue page, issue here, right? So you are displaying all that, you're getting the data, all data. But the thing is, I believe we can put it here, right? Is okay, because every time you add something, you want to revalidate, right? Revalidate in 0 second. So that Next.js will make sure the page is revalidated, right? Okay, so that is one you can do also, or you can have a something like export const dynamic, something like that you can do also. So that is all for revalidation, right? The next one, okay, we look at that too, right? And the dynamic request. So the one more thing I want to talk, right, the rendering. Okay, rendering means from server the page will render, right? From server the page will go to the client. And remember, there is two kind of rendering. One is static and other one was dynamic. Static means the simple formula, right? Remember, if the page you are getting page with, so this id, right, if the page you are getting has no id, then that will be static. For example, about page, right? So there is no id, just you build the about page and there is no id. For example, this dashboard, right, there is no id, so this is static. But soon you get with id, this page become dynamic because you are fetching data dynamically. That is called dynamic page. Remember that. Okay, simple formula, right? So dynamic page will be built on the request. When you request the page, like I'm requesting right now, bug 5 I'm requesting, so that is dynamic. So it is built, this page is created during the request time, and static is there, right, already. So like dashboard is there already, so that is static page. So you can make static also dynamic. Okay, I mean there is a way to make that. So So remember, we can add this one when you're creating a data, right? You just refresh the page so that it will reload the data, right? So that is all in this understanding caching, right? That there is three different kind of caching: one static, dynamic basically, and the like data. I mean, this is called data cache, right? Just remember two things in the server: data cache, and one will be full route cache, right? And one on our in our browser. Okay, for now just remember that, and next will be this part, right? Improving the loading experience. That is the last one. So loading experience, how we going to improve, right? Let's check here. Let's see what are the things we're going to do. So now loading experience, right? So if we look at our page and try to understand first, if I go here, right? So that is okay. I believe this page is okay. If I go to the bog, so this one, right? So that is the ID. I don't have loading page here, correct? Yeah, I don't have, right? So I think we can add something here as well. So now we are using loading for this one and also for the new page, right? New page, remember, add new page. Okay, so something undefined reading title, right? Refresh. Why? Okay, I get some issue here. Default value, right? Issue.title, but when you only want to display when there is issue, right? Okay. So what we're gonna do, conditional chain we can add. So that should be, let's go back here, right? Issue form. So we can put it here, right? Like this one, if there is a issue then only maybe display, right? And also here we can add same thing. Okay, this one also we can add. So now, yeah, so look at, okay, I found something to fix, right? Look at here, if you refresh, you get title and then you display title first and then you getting this box, right? So remember yesterday or day before yesterday, I believe, yeah, we display this dynamically, right, in the client side. Okay, so why not we display the whole thing in the client? Let's fix that one. So now let's see in the let's try to understand. No more API, we have to go back in the issue and in the new, right, new page here. Look at here, so issue is missing as a props. Yeah, we are using here but we don't need, right? Okay, so this issue form, right, we want to display the whole form dynamically. Okay, so let's try to fix this one. So we can call const, let's define this issue form itself here, but before that I need to get this dynamic, right? So const, we call it not const, import dynamic from next dynamic, and issue form equal to, So dynamic. And how you get that form, how you gonna get that? So you have to add the callback function, right? And then you fetch the basically import, okay, import this whole page, right, this one dynamically here. Okay, now delete this, and that is one thing. Now the whole form will display dynamically, right? Means it will not render in the server. Remember that it not going to render in the server. So we can, what we can do right here, we can call the type, I think, yeah, so let's call it issue, and so that it will stop complaining, right? Issue colon, and you call the issue from the type, right, from the Prisma. Yeah, but it asking for the props. God, can we put it dynamic? I don't know if we can put it maybe like that, so it will not complain. No. Okay, I have to check. I don't remember exactly. Okay, fine. So now this is fetching dynamic, but we have to fix now. Okay, we have to fix something in our form, right? Let's go back to the form, and here we don't need this dynamic anymore because we are just displaying the whole form, right? So we're gonna import this part again using the normal simple MDE, right? So import simple MDE from React simple MDE editor, and we're gonna take that out. Okay, yeah, so that is done. That is done. All right, so now check, right? Let's check now page. Simple MD placeholder description. Why? Unable to run time. Simple MD is not defined, right? So okay, so I have done the mistake here. What we call that? Simple MDE. That's the component name. Yeah. Okay, so we get one error now, right? The error, if you look at here, navigator is not defined, something, so we have to fix that also. We'll see what happened, right? So this is the error we have to fix. But anyway, now if you refresh the page, see the both will come same time. Look at here, no more coming the head first and the bottom later, right? No. So that is, I think that one is done. Next, what we can do is let's go back here now. Now in our component, let's look at edit, right? In edit we don't have this layout, so can we fix that? So let's add, right, layout dot tsx. Yeah, but the thing is we have to get our component here, right? But why we're going to use here and then some other place also, let me check. So that is for the ID details page, right? What I need to find is the form. Okay, loading for the form, right? So that is the new loading here. So we can call it, let's create one component here, issue form skeleton. skeleton skeleton dot tsx. Yeah, and what we will do, we'll just bring that is all this skeleton, right? So that is map table, right? Is this correct one? I am not sure. Okay, let me think. Status, no, this is the table, okay, not for our, sorry guys, here, this is what I need, right? This one. Yeah, so what we will do, we'll just take this, right? A skeleton from component, I will just take this all and then we're going to change the name there. Okay, close that here, right? So we call this issue form skeleton. Why not I just type react arrow function create export like that and bring this inside, right? Return part. Okay, and then I'm gonna take all this out, leave it the skeleton there, right? And I'm gonna remove this also, react, we don't need. Save. Okay, so I just separate now, right, this skeleton for the form only, right? This form, that is the skeleton for form. So what we will do now, we just call this in our edit also. So if you go to the edit id, right, layout, just import that, import issue form skeleton like that, and you just export default issue form skeleton and done. So now check, right? And also you can do same thing for, you know, here also, right? You're gonna do the same thing. So import issue form skeleton and export that, export issue form skeleton. Because we just created a component, right, and it should export default. Okay, and it should work. So see, here is the issue form skeleton, and you take it from this one, right? If you look at this new page. Okay, let's check now, right? Let's go back and check. So if I refresh, you know, it's very quick, but you don't see, right? But it's working already. Okay, and if you go to the issue, okay, let's add new, it give, right, there is a skeleton. And now if you go to the bug and if you click update now, right, you're gonna get that skeleton also. The only thing I see is this height of that field little bit less, right? Here, that top one. Okay, you see that page going loading, taking some time now, right? That's okay. So how are we gonna fix that? That can be done through our skeleton here. So this skeleton, we can give some height. Okay, can we give a height? And there is a height of I don't know how much, 2 rem. Yeah, so now it looks better, right? It's big. but we don't see the data. Okay, I don't know why it's not fetching. Something is wrong. Yeah, something went wrong, right? So click on update and it's just running, right? It's not getting data. There is some issue. Let's check in the console. uh, there is nothing I see, right? There is a lot of error, but I don't know what is that. But anyway, it's working. This is not work. This is the only thing I see issue, but in our server here, there is null. Okay, we will figure out that, right? The one thing I want to focus right now, I will let you know what happened there. If I click this update, I don't know why it's taking, my network is issue or something, it's taking a lot of time. uh, Remember that the one error before, right, the navigation, so that error we have to fix. Okay guys, so let me see how you're gonna fix that. Yeah, there is some problem here, I see now. What we can do, I will cancel this request and run the server again, right? So that was the navigation not defined. Okay, so navigation not defined, right? Okay, so let's go to the issue form here. Something to do with the, I believe, this button. Okay, so here issue form, where was that dynamic fetching, where we did that? One second guys, give me a second. Okay, let me figure out. Okay, issue form, right? And here, okay, in the issue form, simple MD, we have used that. So a lot of places, right, where you don't need this one, now you have to remove. Okay, there is so many things because we rectify, remember, so you don't need, we have to delete it. So for example, there is a link, pencil, react, markdown, this one we don't need, let's remove it. All these things you're not gonna need here. Also the button, so we have to do some cleanup also. Okay, there is some cleanup work, so just remember that. Save. Okay, I just need to find out where I let me see, issue form right here. It displaying the form dynamically, the whole form, right? So I have to figure that out. Edit. Okay, let's go to the page. On the edit part, that is fine. sometimes you just stop thinking, right? So that is the problem. Okay, right now my mind maybe not thinking properly. So new page, so that will be new page, right? So I have to go new page, that is issue form. I have to figure out the props types here. That is okay for now, but the thing is action, that is the button, loading page, edit, right? Go to the edit here, that is okay for now also. Then id page, where is, God, where I put that, issue details, right? Issue details. No, I don't need to deal with that one. So new, when you click on the new button, you will go to the new page, right? New page. So that is the page here. You get that dynamic here, right? Okay, so okay, we have to pass something here also. Okay, I forgot, right? What we're gonna pass is the object, and server side rendering equal to false. That is what we have to pass. Yeah, and the next thing we're gonna pass is because there is, okay, so now this loading works in the server only, right? And this is this page. So okay, how are we gonna fix this now, right? Okay, so we're gonna do one thing. Okay, let's do one thing right here. I think I can pass loading. Loading is there, yeah, and that should take most likely callback function, and then we just call that issue form skeleton, right? And that should fix the problem. So we need to get this not from here, right? Yeah, we need to get this from this skeleton directly. I don't know, I mean, we can leave, okay, let's leave it, right? That's fine. So guys, I will leave it here right today, and there will be few things more to fix, okay, I believe. So if I go to the new, add new, right, let's see if this will work or not. Just give me a second. It's just having some issue. So if I click on the new page, yeah, so that is working. Refresh. So okay, I'm getting now, right? That is fine. So if I go to the issue, and let's go to the update right here, I click on update. So I'm getting here, right, but just not getting that detail. So let's check the update page also, okay, one time. So in the update, where is the update id, right? Oh, edit, and here. So issue form we are displaying, I mean, that's the same form, right? Same form is coming here, yeah. So what is the issue now? I got, okay, fine, let's leave it, right? I will figure out, and I will, tomorrow first in the morning I will explain this, maybe 5 minutes, and then we're going to move to the delete part, okay? So I will just stop and push the code for now. So what was the last one? Improving the loading experience, right? Yeah. I will find out the code now and push it, but just remember tomorrow I will explain it so that we can save some time.